Morning, this is day one on the Larapinta Trail. Currently standing at Serpentine Gorge, so about 18 k's today, going up to Shallow Dam, so should be amazing. But look at that sunrise overlooking the gorge. Currently walking along the ridge to get up to there, which is Count's Point. Ditch your bag and then hike up to the top of Count's Point for a bit of lunch. This is Count's Point. Made it to Serpentine Dam. Bit over 22 k's today. Moderately difficult. Count's Point is absolutely phenomenal. Morning. This is day 2 on the Larapinta Trail. Doing section 9, or about half of it. About 22 k's down to the Ochre mines, and then up to Mount Giles for a sunset. Today's going to be one of the bigger days. There's no water for about 30-ish k's, so got a full pack ready to go, so it should be good. Just ditched my pack, and I'm just going to continue walking down to the Ochre pits, because it's a return trip, so there's no point in carrying all that weight. I believe right in the background out there is Mount Sonder, and that's where I'm heading. Probably about 100 k's. I'm here at the Ochre pits, just in Western MacDonnell country. They're basically amazing, formed by wind and compression. There's different kinds of sediment, like iron, to make the different kinds of colours, but pretty amazing. The reds, the rusty colours, are used more for traditional ceremonies, whereas the white and yellows are used for sort of decoration. It's been traded for millennia for things like boomerangs or grain or food or anything like that, whatever they needed. It would be compressed into bricks. It's also used into medicine, mixed with animal fat. Always the risk when dropping your bag and going on a side quest. I've just walked past it, so I have to go and find it again. Pretty sure it's only a couple 100 meters, but I even made a little can to remind myself, but walked straight past it. Bag's just down there. Just coming through Inalanga Pass. Pretty steep rocks, but pretty amazing anyway. These ferns, just here, are about 2.5 times the size of me. Just got to get a little bit of water. I got some tablets to purify. I just don't have a filtration device. But prior to me getting here, it rained for about a week, so there's so much water coming down off those mountains. Walking through this flat sort of bed and seeing these sort of grainy kind of bushes just reminds me of the book I'm reading at the moment, Dark Emu, and that grasses probably similar to this were cultivated by First Nations people all over the country, but it's not really recognised in most textbooks, just because there's no real big record of it other than first settlers. It's really cool because there's the riverbank, and it was said that they were used to grow crops like this along riverbanks. Incredibly shiny rocks. Not too sure what's on them. Gotta go down there, but I've come from all the way through that valley over there. So I've just lost the path, so it's really hard to see anything because it's all blurred in with all these rocks, but you can see it's over there, but I need to go upwards, so I'm going to go over that direction. Because I'm pretty sure I've got to go up, so I'll see if I can find the path in a second. Found it again. This green bush is insanely spiky. You can see the path goes through it, so make sure if you're going to do this, wear some long pants. Just on the Larapinta Trail. Just a thought, I've been reading this book all about Adlerian psychology, and basically in a summary it's saying you should not look behind. The past is the past. Look to the future and set your goals that way. But my goal is to keep going up there, but sometimes you need to stop and look at where you've just come from. Heading up just up here. Pretty amazing rock formations. Looks like I got to go back down to then go back up. It's a Waterfall Gorge campsite. It's a really nice spot at the base of Mount Giles. Up we go. I don't know if you can see them, but right up there, there's another group of people zigzagging up. Still climbing. I believe it's 300 meters elevation, round about. Made it to Mount Giles, Mount Sonder in the background. Absolutely epic. 28 k's roundabout hike today, but views up here are phenomenal. You got nearly a 360 degree panorama, and sun setting soon, so that should be amazing. I've got to go find camp. No camps left at Mount Giles, so I'm going to try to keep following down the ridge here to, I think it's called Hermit's Hideout, so hopefully there's a camp spot there. Here's camp for tonight. In the Western MacDonnell Ranges. East, back to Alice Springs. Morning, this is day 3 on the Larapinta, just on top of Mount Giles, just camped here for tonight and just watched an incredible sunrise this morning overlooking Mount Sonder in the background there and the Western MacDonnell Ranges. Today's going to be relatively big. We got another 15 k's down to Ormiston Gorge and then just do the 10k Ormiston Gorge sort of dam that's there as well. So it should be a good day. It's nice and fresh, nice blue skies coming out, so we'll have some coffee and then get right into it. Coming into Ormiston Gorge, there's a massive dry riverbed. Day 3 done on the Larapinta Trail here at Ormiston Gorge. It was about 17 k's from Mount Giles Lookout. Had a nice tasty lunch today, a bit of an ice cream here at the cafe. It's probably one of the last spots along the trail before it gets a little bit more rugged again. So just living that up a little bit, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to go and do the pound walk, which is about a 10k loop. It follows the gorge all the way around. But here at sunset, some pretty big caves up in there, if you can see them. Look at them, there's so many. I thought I heard budgies when I was walking through the bush. Morning, this is day 4 on the Larapinta Trail. I'm still here at Ormiston Gorge. It's a nice brisk morning this morning, just a couple of birds singing in the background. But the plan for today is to jump on the trail and head over to Finke River, and also do the Ormiston Pound. And then if we got a bit of time, we might push up towards the hilltop lookout to camp, but that adds an extra 10 k's on, so we'll see how we're feeling. But it should be a good day nonetheless. But yeah, it's pretty stunning just being in the gorge itself. I'm just doing the Ormiston Gorge pound walk. It's about 10 k's, or a little less than 10 k's circuit around the gorge, or in through the gorge. So it should be amazing, and I'll take you along for the ride. This is the massive dry riverbed that we crossed earlier today, and we're just about to go through the hills up here and then in through the gorge and around. Apparently there's a bit of a water crossing, so we'll see. We might get a bit wet today, but it should be nice and hot anyway, so let's get going. Got some ghost gums around this dry riverbed. Just thought while I'm walking this trail is, last night I was talking to Jim, one of the other trekkers on the Larapinta, and he was saying that the First Nations people don't actually look at constellations like we are familiar with, just joining the dots. They more look for the dark spots in the sky. So last night we could find the emu and the massive head and its body stretching over half the night sky. So it's really cool, different perspectives, and I suppose that's why I'm bringing it up now, because the perspective we've got here at the moment, looking back into the valley of where I've just come from, out there, and just heading over the other side. But just something to consider when you're looking at the night sky again. Look for those dark spots and see what animals you can find. Heading into the Ormiston Gorge, it's just straight ahead. Some ghost gums stuck on the side of that cliff. So that was a lot deeper than I thought. I'm wet up to about here. But now we're up on the Ghost Gum Trail, which finishes off this hike back in the Ormiston car park. It's the end of day 4 on the Larapinta Trail, just coming out of Ormiston Gorge and heading to Finke River. It's pretty late in the afternoon, about 3:30. It's the reason because it's pretty hot. It's about 20 degrees. You can probably tell by how red my face is at the moment. But spent the day over at the Ormiston and Pound. Today, just at the end of the afternoon, going over to Finke River, as I said, it's probably about 8.9 k's. It's pretty cruisy. Should be done in about 2 hours. So yeah, let's get going and then get some dinner. Just made it to Finke River. There's actually a lot of water here. You can't see it from this angle. I might get a close up of it, but yeah, just before sunset, just right before sunset, might set up tent real quick and then might just run back out onto the trail to about a k back there and see if I can see the sunset over Mount Sonder, but we'll see. Literally chasing sunsets out here. Just ran 2 k's from Finke River up onto this little hill, so then I can watch the sun set over Mount Sonder in the background there. Brought my dinner, so should be good. Trail's just over there, so got a head torch ready to get back to camp, but this should be hopefully pretty stunning. Having a look around at the surrounding hillside. Morning, this is day 5 on the Larapinta Trail. Here camping at Finke River last night. It's pretty fresh this morning. You can probably see on the water all the haze, but my tent's actually frozen. So I'll have to let it thaw out before heading up to Hilltop Lookout. It's only about 9-10 k's away from here, so not too far. But otherwise I'll just keep it nice and cruisy up to Hilltop, about 10 k's, so about 3 hours or so. We're only 25 k's left of the whole trip. So just ditched my pack in the bush. Again, just off on a 3.5k detour down to Glen Gorge. It's a bit of a resort down there, but I really just want to go see the gorge itself. Made it to Glen Gorge. It's only about 3.5, 4 k's off the main Larapinta Trail, but it's a really nice swimming spot if you bring your swimmers. I forgot to bring mine, so I'm not going to go in. Apparently this river is it's the Finke River, but it's one of the main water sources for this region, meaning it doesn't dry out as much. Reunited with my pack. Now I'm just going on to section 11 of the Larapinta Trail. It's supposed to go to Rocky Bar Gap, but I'm going to try to camp up on top of the hilltop lookout. It's only a couple of k's short of Rocky Gap, but the wind has just picked up, so up the top of that hill it's going to be pretty windy, I could imagine, but we'll see. There's a few of us going up there tonight, so that'll be good to catch up with everyone, but we'll see if I actually camp there. It might be a bit too windy. Just climbing hilltop to a hilltop lookout. It's the final camp before we reach Redbank. You can see Mount Sonder there in the background. It's a relatively steep incline, but it doesn't really matter. It's all worth it at the end. I'm reading this book, Breath or Breathe, all about the positive benefits and health of nose breathing rather than mouth. And since I've been doing that for the last 2 days, just constantly breathing through my nose, feeling a lot more energy, which is awesome. But as well as I'm taking in an insane amount of pollens from these two flowering trees, which smells amazing, but it also sends your sinuses on fire. I was listening to an ultramarathon runner, and how they climb ascents, like uphill, relatively easy, or as easy as possible. And they basically said, don't lean over, stand up as straight as you can, and all your power comes from your glutes rather than from your quads. If you lean over, then you put more strain on your legs, and then that burns them out a lot quicker. So it's a bit hard to do with a pack on, but trying to do that as much as possible as I go up this hill. Made it to a hilltop lookout. That's looking back east towards Alice. And then if we come through here, you got Mount Sonder. Finished day 5 on the Larapinta, just at the top of the hilltop lookout, which is overlooking Mount Sonder, which is pretty amazing anyway, with a view. There's a few of us camped up here tonight, which will be nice. We'll hopefully get some really nice photos of the stars if these clouds clear up, overlooking Mount Sonder. Looking forward to an apple pie. I've been saving that one for the trip, so let's see how that one tastes. but we've only got one more day of walking, which will be down, obviously down the other side of this hill, and then should be over the back side of Mount Sonder with camping at the base at Redbank and then up the top there. So today walked from Finke River, so Finke River to Helen Gorge, which was about 6 k's total, and then from Helen to here, which was about another 14. So a smaller day than the previous ones, which has been alright. The hill incline to get up to the hilltop was probably about 300 meters of elevation, so a little bit steep, but yeah, still views are pretty worth it up here, pretty amazing. See Mount Sonder there, but on the east side we've got this huge valley going back towards Alice Springs. Morning, this is day 6 on the Larapinta Trail, just on the top of Hilltop Lookout, overlooking obviously Mount Sonder in the background there. It's a really windy night last night, so I've decided to pack up a bit earlier and get down to the bottom of the hill to have my coffee this morning. And then today's going to be a pretty short one. It's only about 13 k's to the base of Mount Sonder at Redbank Gorge. That's where we'll set up camp, and then the rest of the crew will meet me there, and then we'll get up about 4 AM and go and summit Mount Sonder for our sunrise tomorrow morning. So it should be a great day. The wind is pushing these crazy cool clouds across and giving this really stunning effect. Just made it to Rocky Bar Gap. It's just at the bottom of Mount Sonder. It's like the last water point before Redbank Gorge. It's pretty cool. We just got these two giant ridge lines, and then obviously the gap we're about to go through. Just on the last trip up to Redbank Gorge, and this is the backside of Mount Sonder, and I'm pretty sure we'll be scaling that ridge tomorrow morning for our sunrise. Day 6 on the Larapinta done. Made it to Redbank Gorge. Here it's probably about 3 o'clock, 3:15. We've got an early night tonight and then really early morning to get up and try to summit. There's loads of flies down here at the moment, but that's also because we're probably pretty smelly. But anyway, it's nice. We're just going to chill out. I'm going to read my book and then cook some dinner. Should be good. It's a nice little spot. Apparently there's a gorge walk, probably about 3k's down along here. Might do that this afternoon. Feeling pretty tired at the moment though, so I'm just going to have a rest at the moment and then we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. Not sure if you can see, but my head torch has died. Morning, this is day 7 on the Larapinta Trail. We've just summited Mount Sonder. It's about 7:30 in the morning and the sun has just risen. It's amazing. You can actually see the shadow of the mountain at the back here, which is really cool. There's the Western MacDonnell Ranges. Done about half of the Larapinta Trail, which is a bit over 120k's. The amazing crew that I've met up with, Kate, Emily, Tom, Jim and Wendy, have done the whole trail, which is pretty amazing, but pretty awesome experience. Just to end this, I just want to recognise and acknowledge the Western Aranda people. This is their country. Their country's absolutely phenomenal. It's amazing. I'm grateful that I could have this opportunity to do this. So yeah, thanks for coming along, and let's look for many more adventures.
You're gonna wreck it.
You can do your funny face.
I'll be showing some family members.
I was trying to get this big rant, and then you got this. Yeah, that's right. This person.
Well, technically. That was the end of it.
If someone said you had 30k's to go, would you be bothered?